the box scores.
Box scores.
Bourbon.
We check each other's box scores and scores online.
Baseball. Box scores.
So football, baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey.
Box scores and bourbon.
Guys, we're back. We have a special guest with us. But before we get there, we are going to do our traditional toast to the episode. Hold up your glass. Yeah, there we go. Clink, clink.
Cheers, everyone.
Salute. Awesome.
Welcome back, JB. Kenan, welcome. Welcome to our humble episode on a great hump day. We are excited to have you join us. Are you excited to be with us today?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
No,
Absolutely. Dude, I'm so excited about this. I'm a pretty meek person. I'm shy. You know, I don't like to throw myself out there.
Yeah.
That's not true. But I finally got around to asking you to appear on the pod, and we'll get to it later on in the question part of the episode. But man, you got some big news you're going to share with everybody, and I'm excited for you to share with everybody too. So with that in mind, all right, Kenan, we are going to ask questions. We're going to go one for one. Manny's got odds. I got evens. So
right.
Manny,
we're ready to go. We want to know about you a little bit, Kenan. So I know you were born in Beaufort, South Carolina, right?
Beaufort, yep.
Beaufort. Was your dad in the Marine Corps out there, or what brought you to the Southwest from South Carolina?
Yeah, so my dad was a Marine for about 5 years, and he was a drill instructor out there at Parris Island. Served in Desert Storm as well.
oh, nice. All right. That's awesome. Yeah.
And you ended up here how?
Oh, man, that's a good question, too. So, yeah, pretty much martial arts. I left school from South Carolina, went up to Iowa, and then once I graduated college there, I had a degree in psychology. I knew I wanted to fight, and so I checked out a few gyms and ended up at Jackson Wink MMA. And at the time, I was serving in the Air Reserves at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. So my unit there was cool. I was an ammo troop. They were cool with me transferring, so they got my paperwork routed. And then when I got to Kirkland, they told me I had to cross train because they didn't have any ammo troops there.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. That'd have been fun. So what year was this that you came to Kirtland?
2017.
Nice.
If they allowed you to stay in ammo, we would have been peers together. I was ammo for 9 years.
That's insane.
Yeah. Hey, and look, now we're peers again. And you're about to get out. You're a CSS, just like me. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now you're leaving.
So MMA dictated your military career pretty much.
Yes. And kind of helped guide it. They both were going hand in hand, but yeah, MMA definitely guided me here for sure.
Nice. Well, we're glad we gained you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you said that MMA brought you to Iowa? Is that what you said?
Wrestling. So
Wrestling brought you to Iowa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And so,
go ahead.
no, go ahead and just tell us that journey from wrestling going to Iowa and then you ending up at Kirtland and at Jackson Wink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I started wrestling when I was about 7th grade. And then it kind of took off a little bit when I was about junior and senior in high school. And then got a college offer to continue that. And so my first year I stayed in South Carolina. So at Spartanburg Methodist. And it was a junior college. Didn't like it there too much. Had a falling out with the coach. And crazy story, I messaged the coach at Iowa Central on Facebook. He wrote back to me and he was like, hey, just submit your application and we'll get you up here. And then
Oh, wow. That's quite the introduction. I never knew Facebook to be that way.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was. Now it's just it's all been
Not
commercialized.
quite that anymore.
It's a bunch of other things. Yes.
But yeah. So I went up to Iowa, and then I was at Iowa Central, the junior college there. And it's actually pretty cool because I was the same junior college John Jones went to, and I didn't know it until I got there.
Nice.
And then
Okay.
Cain Velasquez as well. And so just kind of following that heritage and lineage of wrestling, then finished school there, took a year off, and I ended up going to Grandview University, which is in Des Moines, Iowa. And
nice.
both of those teams, Iowa Central and Grandview, are multiple-time national champions. And just the pedigree of both programs, yeah, they're top dogs up there for sure in their divisions. So JUCO and then NAIA. I think Grandview's won it about 13 times in the last 15 years.
Wow.
Nice.
I gotta pay more. I gotta pay closer attention to the wrestling scene.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Just follow anybody up there in Iowa. I'm pretty sure outside of D1, the Iowa schools usually win every division.
Okay. All right.
Smoking everybody.
Okay.
Impressive.
Go ahead, Manny.
No, I was just saying that's pretty impressive that they dominate the sport like that pretty strongly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's that Gable era. That kind of set the tone for the home state. Everybody's Iowa tough.
I've never heard anybody say Iowa tough. That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have an aunt that lives in Iowa. All right. So wrestling brought you to Iowa. You're at Iowa Central. You end up finding your way here to Albuquerque. What was the inspiration for you to go from wrestling to MMA?
So I actually knew I wanted to pursue MMA before I knew I'd get that far in wrestling. I kind of made that decision to pursue mixed martial arts, and around 7th grade, but I actually started martial arts when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
So I started submission fighting. It wasn't full-on jiu-jitsu. It's like a mix of submissions and a bit of like karate. But I started martial arts young. I just always was drawn to it, always attracted to it, loved it. And then it was after my first wrestling season, me and my dad just be watching UFC shows. And I was like, damn, like that's what I'm going to be doing. At the time, I knew the wrestlers were dominant. So I was like, I just got to take wrestling as far as I can.
Yeah.
And at first, it wasn't looking good that I would get into college for wrestling. I was actually going to join the Army and then try to fight that way. But
oh, wow.
I got a last-minute scholarship probably like 2 months before school ended. And I was like, oh, not going to the Army.
You did it. That's a good thing.
Sounds like a great decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the childhood dream, lifelong dream. Now you're a fighter. You're in the MMA. Tell us where the lion originated. Where's that nickname from?
So that actually came from my boxing coach. I started boxing that year. I took off. It was before I left for college, and then I came back. Took a year off, and I just straight boxed. And I remember my boxing coaches at the time, Coach Pope. He was arguing with my assistant coach, and he was like, "What are we gonna call him?" And he's got this thick Southern accent. What are we gonna call him? We gotta call him. And then we were arguing about it. And I'm the type of person. I don't give myself nicknames. I always believe to let like fans or my coach choose it. Like let the audience see what they see, and I'll take that. But in my head, I was like Superman, and it was like, nah, everybody's got Superman. Everybody's Superman these days. And there's a lot of boxers named Superman. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then the assistant coach goes, well, how about the young lion? And then the other coach goes, nah, not young lion. He's like, he's not gonna be young forever. And how about just the lion. And then I was like, that sticks. And then I asked him, I was like, why the lion? And it was like the way I fight. I have a lot of heart. And so it sounds a little bit cliche, but he really did.
Yeah.
He said, I fight with the heart of a lion. And I know he meant that because it's true. That's just how I am.
Yeah. And that's how
awesome.
you feel. So, and that's kind of my next question, or our next question here. So there's a lot of training that goes into every match, okay, every fight. We want to know about your headspace the night of a fight, from pre-fight warm-ups to the walk to the cage, when you step into cage, all the way to the first bell. What's your headspace like there?
It's just sheer intense focus, and it's something you have to develop, and I would say still developing for myself from a little bit of I've dealt with a few injuries that put a halt to things, but yeah, that, and then usually it starts, weeks before I get in there. You're just so locked in, and but the night before too, and then too, like paying attention to removing certain distractions and whatnot. But yeah, once you get there and once you weigh in, you're just locked in. And there was a period where I was getting a little crazy. I was going skydiving before my fights, which is not a good idea. But, yeah, even then that would help me too. At the time, it was helping me, but I realized I was like kind of taken away from that focus a little bit. But you're just locked in. You're focused on the movements, executing your techniques, and performing.
Yeah.
Just removing like all the noise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it the same when you're in the corner?
Like during rounds?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the corner, I'm kind of in that flow state usually. So like, and the adrenaline's so high, your self two version of yourself kind of is taking over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're still, in it too, if you're in a hard fight or if you're not focused and you're not peaking at that right amount of like intensity, you could be a little off. There's been times where like I've come to the corner and like halfway through the minute break, now I'm starting to come back and I can hear my coach talking to me. But there's been times like my last fight, as soon as I got to the corner, I was so locked in, I could hear everything he said. And so it's just that repetition to get that point where, you're just calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see and hear everything. You're present.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned that it takes a lot of like clearing and like soothing of preparation and mentally. What goes through your head? I know you said you have to like clear your mind a lot, like kind of decompress, even like the week before the fight or for like the entire week as you're preparing. What is actually going through your head throughout that like Zen process? Is there like strategy going on? Is there just like relaxation methods that are going through your head? And then once the fight actually comes, when it's like fight night, is there like a hype up moment that you look for? Is there a song that gets you going, or what? Like if there's like a moment that you're like, okay, let's like lock in. Is there somebody or a song or something that just gets you going?
I would say, yeah, I have like developed a couple playlists on my iTunes library that I like to listen to, and it's got various songs in there just to kind of keep me in a tense, calm state. And so, yeah, I try
mentally,
not
is
to.
it just all just like stay focused, relax, don't overstress? Is that just what's going through your head throughout like the preparation and like walking into the ring?
That's it. Because like over time, you learn how to deal with the nerves, and then too, like the higher you get up, you get the so-called pressure. So you learn how to deal with that as well. But just emptying all of that, really, trusting on your training. So that's kind of the point where I've gotten now. And so really it's just being present and listening to my body in the moment versus a set routine. But that routine occurs naturally through every fight if I'm doing that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you used to skydive. Is that like was it just like one of those things that you leaned into because you had that like surge of energy and you had needed something to like get rid of it? And is that how you transitioned? Like that was your outlet to get rid of all that excitement behind the fight?
Yeah. So that's a great question. Nobody's ever asked that one. So yeah, the skydiving, because it was very spiritual for me, just getting my license. It's a very intense sport and has a lot of similarities to fighting. But my logic behind it at the time was that I'm gonna, if I can skydive, like kind of essentially face death right now, and then while I'm getting another adrenaline dump before the fight. so, so it was just like, but mentally it was like I'll be cool and calm for the fight would be all right. It was like a preset at the time. It was a preset for me to yeah, step into that cage feeling confident. I didn't get my confidence necessary from that, but the act of skydiving does give you a lot of confidence just throughout life. And then it gives you that vibrancy to live more, because you are
Mhm.
dancing with death a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really are. Does that ever cross your mind when in the ring? I know some fighters, like even they've like verbally in the ring, they're like, "I am ready to die in the ring right now if that's what it takes." Like, does that go through your mind when you're fighting?
Well, for me, I make that decision before I get in there. So
Fair.
once that gate closes, it's like there's only one way out usually, and so it's me
Fair
or
enough.
him. And I will say it's nice to know that in my heart I'm willing to go to the end, because I've lost fights too where I've been like rocked and try to fight back, and you're just taking damage, getting beat up. Got my elbow popped out, but to know, because it's easy to say it's like, yeah, to the death, but it's like, well, when you're not really conscious and your body's just kind of like surviving, but like it's still fighting, that's how you kind of know,
Mhm.
yeah, that person will go, like he will go to the death.
To the end,
Wow.
until the limit end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I want to ask this question because I'm very curious to hear what your answer is. If there was one person, famous, family, or otherwise, that you would want to crowd hype you, who would it be?
Crowd hype me. Uh, that's a good one. Probably, who would I go with? Probably at the moment, I would say J. Cole.
Oh, nice.
Give
Okay,
him like a nice little hard rap, not
there
the
you
album
go.
rap, like some freestyle rap, maybe like an
All right.
intro, and that'd
Nice.
be dope.
A little bit like Adonis Creed. He had his girlfriend out there singing her song for him. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would just have J. Cole just dropping bars, just spit.
That's Hey, that is absolutely an entrance right there.
Yeah.
That might be worth the price of admission. Just watching that entrance right there. That's
Hey,
two shows in one.
We'll flip through our book of connections. We'll see if we can get J. Cole at your next fight. How about that?
let's do it, man.
Yeah, I'll grab my Rolodex.
Yeah.
Uh, your recent fight against Aaron Phillips proved victorious via submission from a rear naked choke, which, according to the records, has proven quite successful for you. So two questions. Uh, is that your favorite move, or is it a move you'd like to be known by? And is there another move you'd like to have an opponent submit to?
Yeah, so it's becoming my favorite move because I just drilled it so much, and
Mm-hmm.
the way my ground game is set up, like there's not really too many options once I get to where I get. So people usually choose that option because it's less damage and smarter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The other options like a lot of ground and pound, and
yeah.
usually they give up. They give up the back. So it's just been occurring. It's not something I'm like I'm gonna go out there and rear naked choke this person.
That's my goal.
Yeah, you take inches, and
Mhm.
then it just
Yeah.
happens. As far as a submission I'd like to get in the cage, ooh, that's a good one too. I need to do more submissions, but I'll have to say getting a heel hook in the octagon.
Ooh, nice.
It's hard and it's frowned upon. Would I want to be? Would I want to be like in that position where I'm having to go for a heel hook? No. But if I could pull a heel hook off, you know, maybe if I'm like standing up and he's got his heel, you know, I'm ground and pounding and his heel's like on my way somewhere. Maybe from that angle. But I think that would be pretty cool to add to a resume because it's just rare.
Yeah.
I can't say I've seen too many. So let's branch out a little bit. We saw Josh Hockett's coming out party in April, propelling him to the White House lawn. What is your role and role of other fighters when it comes to helping train one of their own for a big fight?
For most part, just showing up and try to help those guys out as much as possible. And then, you know, when you can, like get there on the weekends outside of training hours. Like for me, I work during the day, so it's a little harder for me to get there at practices. Most of the practice on daytime. But,
Yeah.
you know, doing extra work on the weekends, meeting up with guys and just drilling.
Just the
Yeah.
support factor.
Yeah. All right. So here's another Hokett question. Okay. So while he does train at Jackson Wink, he's not originally from New Mexico, and really the closest tie to New Mexico he has is he's from a town called Clovis. Okay, Clovis, California. But Hokett had an athletic past, much like you, before he went into MMA. He was a two-way football star both in high school and college, dabbled a little bit, practice squads in the NFL. If not MMA, what's one sport or talent that you would dominate? Would it be skydiving?
Honestly, if I'm being the first one that came to mind, this is off. Probably soccer.
Soccer.
That
Okay.
was not on my list.
All right, so I will say I'm not very good. I found soccer late. Like there was an instance in high school where I walked out to the soccer field with the head coach, and it was 10th grade, and it was during football off season, so everybody's back there lifting weights, and I'm just watching practice with them, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go back to the weight room, you know, and just get a little big. But 4 years after that, I caught the fever, and I was getting good just playing pickup games, and I was like, I fucking love soccer, you know, like you know, that was the one regret I had, and I almost went to the extreme when I got to Grandview. I talked to my wrestling coach at the time. I was like, hey, would you be cool if I would be like a manager for the soccer team here just to be around it? And he was like, what? You know, like, what are you doing? Like, you're working for a national champion wrestling team. Like, why are you trying to go play soccer? That's just how far I was, like, to trying to pursue it. And if I always told myself if I had a son, I probably would get them in soccer versus fighting. Just because.
Probably beats you up less.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a position that you like know that you would have wanted to play?
I'm going to be a striker.
Ah, of course.
Oh, there you go. Man. Hey,
That's funny.
Kenan the Lion Jackson sounds fantastic as a striker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you mentioned that you trained at Jackson Winks. Pretty much that's what brought you to Albuquerque, right?
Yeah.
And Jackson Winks has a really strong links to some pretty infamous MMA fighters. Von Jones, Holly Holmes, George St. Pierre. Who has personally been your favorite fighter to train alongside and why?
I would say here at Jackson's, I would say Carlos, out of the big names, I'm assuming you're asking, yeah?
Sure, yeah.
Or any of them, really. Yeah.
I would say when I first got here, it was Carlos Condit. Because
Okay.
of like who he was, and then me and him would roll. Like we would have some great grappling sessions, and but there was just so many guys too that were just pushing me, pushing. I mean, everybody in there was just a killer, And so when I got here, I'm telling people, it's like, I don't know if y'all mind me cussing or not,
No,
but
JB
By all
the
means.
time.
it's just, you get the Jacksons, it's like, you're just going to get your ass beat. That's just what it is. And it's like every day, but you love it though, because you're around the best of the best.
Yeah.
And then, and it fluctuates too. Life happens, but I would say as of recently, I've met some Russians, my Russian brothers. They moved to Colorado, but one guy's name was Ismail, and this dude was a monster. But me and him would just, we train. We just push, we go hard. So that was a very good recent connection as far as training. So Carlos was a big one. And then I would say two of my coaches, Coach Bada is my jiu-jitsu coach. He spent countless of hours with me. I remember there's like one period when I was training for a world tournament. We did probably like 2 months. And for me, it was a lot, but 2 months straight of just jiu-jitsu. No breaks. Like it was good, but he was with me I saw his face every day. But, it fluctuates, but those few names and all the coaches as well. You just kind of get locked in and you just don't stop. But
Yeah.
it's very exciting to train with Carlos and then to have him kind of build me up.
Nice. Now, is there somebody that I know everybody gets their own style of fight, but either intentionally or unintentionally, have you found yourself mirroring like anybody as you've grown through your MMA career? Has your MMA fighting style, have you found it replicating some big names out there?
Yes and no. So when I first started, I was a big fan of George St. Pierre. And that was my favorite fighter. John Jones, of course, and Anderson Silva. But I always took a liking to GSP. And so I kind of, followed him as much as I could via the internet and all his fights. But I tailored myself to him, and then I realized at a certain point, I was like, all right, well, I need to pick and choose the fighting styles and techniques that are natural for me, for my body type, and for my athletic ability.
Yeah.
And so I kind of branched out from that. But initially, it was George St. Pierre. I wanted to be just like GSP. And then, two, you got the others you add in. And then my style started developing, still is developing. I would say, I had a couple setbacks, but it's not quite fine-tuned yet. But it's crazy. It's building. It's coming up.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're excited to see what comes from it.
Absolutely. All right. You were recently notified of the ultimate once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, attending UFC Freedom 250 on the White House lawn. Kenan, please tell us what that means to you, a local fighter, getting to witness in person this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Man, I'll tell you a story first. So I think it was 2 days ago. Was it? Yes. Yeah, it's 2 days ago. It was Wednesday. I don't know what day it is. Been in the house. But, I'm going to the doctor, see the pulmonologist for my lungs. I'm parking, and I'm taking my phone off the charger, and I see I got a email. Email opens up. Congratulations, you're going to the UFC White House. And I kid you not, I'm in this parking lot just screaming and yelling to the top of my lungs probably for about 5 minutes straight. And my voice actually went hoarse from it. I was just so pumped up, so hyped. And it's a miracle for this to happen. I can't even explain it. And the feeling I've had, and just to also witness two of my teammates, Josh Hogan, Garcia, and to be a part of it, and I know I stick around fighting, and then it made me thankful for all the people that helped me get there. The people that notified me, yourself, Colonel Diaz, Colonel Tish, Sergeant Tharp, just to kind of like get me, throw my name out there.
Hell yeah.
Happen. And for me, it's pretty crazy too, because last week, I don't know if you know, but I was like in the ICU because I had blood clots and pneumonia. And then to come out of that, and I was telling my friend, I was like, this has got to be God. Like, there's no way this isn't God, because the odds of getting there, the odds of me not being here is just, it's been mind blowing. I'm trying to keep it together right now. I'm so like pumped up and stoked, and I can't wait for it.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm so excited for you.
You don't have to keep it together here.
Yeah, absolutely not. No, this is the most I've ever been composed.
Yeah.
I am beyond excited for you. It is. Have you already booked your flight?
Yeah, so I booked everything yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We're ready to rock and roll, and I was just like, "Is this real?"
Are you staying in the Lincoln Room in the White House?
Oh, I wish. That'd be awesome.
I mean, it has to be pretty exciting to be one of the select few to. It's fair for you to have like this overwhelming like excitement for it. Like you're one of the few that gets going to represent New Mexico. You're representing so many. Your family. You're representing the last name that you always are like fighting for. So all that it's all very justified that you feel all these emotions. We're all very excited that you get to go. I think it's a great opportunity. I think you're gonna even just being able to witness such a once in a lifetime opportunity. I think it's well deserved for sure, and I think you definitely will do your last name very proud for sure. Now we have one last question for you.
All right.
What's one piece of advice you would give to anyone, young or old, about pursuing their dreams, and what is next for you?
The piece of advice I would give is burn the boats. Just go all in.
Oh, nice. Love that.
You know you'll do it when you start like the times start getting hard, and you know that you come too far to like go back or turn around. That's when you know the boats have been burned. So just completely pick something. You never know. The course of it might change. Like if you look at Hokit's story, he was in the NFL. His course changed, and now he's in the UFC. But he's still getting after it, so to say, as far as his path. And so anything that just go all in, don't look back, and just give it your all. It will pay off. It will pay off. And
love that.
What was the second part of your question?
Well, what's next for you? What do we have on the itinerary?
I kind of want to say something, but I can't say it yet.
Fair.
Oh man, we must have breaking news. Oh man,
I can't say it yet. I gotta let it marinate a little bit. But I'm actually just resting a little bit, and then to get back in the cage. That's the next goal. To keep fighting and keep building myself. But kind of taking a little break, a little downturn, and there is a new surprise, but like I said, I can't disclose that yet.
Hey, you know
all right.
what? We film every week. If you want to break the news here as soon as it's official, you can jump on and you can break the news through this podcast. You're always welcome here.
I appreciate it. Let's do it. When it happens, we'll come back for another episode.
Perfect.
I love it. Yeah, and then we'll hear all about your time in DC, what that was like, just the experience of being in that atmosphere. Man, I'm so incredibly jealous and excited for you. It's awesome, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you? Your Twitter, your Instagram. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, the best way to follow my story is to check me out on Instagram, and that's Kenan T Jackson, Kenan T Jackson. And same thing on Facebook, Kenan Jackson, and I usually post all the fight stuff and crazy videos and skydiving up there.
That's awesome. Kenan, thanks so much for coming on, man. Oh, it was awesome having you. Oh, it was such a pleasure.
Cheers to you, Kenan.
Yeah. Cheers to you, bud. Hey, when you click out of the room, little housekeeping information for everybody out there. When you click out of the room, don't close out of the tab. Let it load up all the way.
Okay.
So that way we can capture the entire interview. But thanks for coming, man. I so much appreciate this.
Thank you, and I'd love to do it again. We can do a White House episode, and then also
Ooh.
when I get the good news.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Send us
Let's
some
do
content.
it.
We'd love to see what's going on out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, brother.
All right, you too.
All right. Wow. That was awesome.
Yeah. He has
That
so
was
much
awesome.
going on in his life. It's awesome to be able to actually like dive into where he came from, what he has going on in his life, and even his like the future stuff that he has on the horizon. I can't wait to see what's actually next. Hopefully we can actually get him back on the episode, and we get to hear one of the first ones to hear what his next adventure is in his MMA fight.
Yeah. Well, I hope technically all the technicalities flesh themselves out. I hope it actually logs.
Oh, we're good. We're good. I know we'll be good. That's gonna
Okay.
be great content for him. JB.
All right. Let's move on to two of the best final series in their respective sports that we've seen in quite some time. I just ashed myself. Look at that. So Hurricanes, Knights, absolutely incredible series. My goodness, Manny. My goodness. We went to, what was it? We went to dinner Friday night. And the Knights, we were at Turtle Mountain. We were watching the game. We got up. We left. It was midway through the second period. And then Tomas Hertl scores a goal. We get up. We're leaving. And then another goal. We get to the car. Another goal. I get home. Before we get home, another goal. Hat trick for the Knights, and it's 4-0 going to the third period. My wife and I were going to go outside. We're going to smoke a cigar. I put the game on downstairs. She's upstairs grabbing the sticks, and on upstairs she said, "Are we smoking outside?" I said, "Yeah." On her way down, before she comes down, I'm screaming. I'm like, "Whoa, 4-1! Oh, it's awesome! Let's go, Canes!" She's walking down the stairs. Oh, 4-2. Oh, this is incredible. She gets to the bottom of the stairs, and it's 4-3. I'm like, all right, babe, we're staying inside.
We're
smoking these stogies indoors tonight. We're watching this game. I got a good feeling about the Canes right now. Of course, they tie it. Goes to double OT. Double OT. Knights win that game, of course. Go up, 2-1.
Yeah.
And so it was absolutely just a phenomenal game. George Stahl is just
last night. And Game 4 was not lacking excitement. The same thing.
It wasn't. None of these games, none of them are lacking excitement. None of them. And, I mean, from Bussy coming in the third period, shutting down the Knights, and then in game 3 it was. Game 2 was, and then that was game 3. Yeah, shutting down the Knights in the third period. Absolutely incredible goals or saves. And then last night, Stroll with the belly flop for the ages. I've been reliably informed you shouldn't even belly flop on water. This guy's taking it to a whole new level. He's just like, I'm risking my entire body. And this ain't no spring chicken either. He's been in the league for 13 years. He's been doing this for a long time. And he's like, I'm selling myself out for this goal. And lo and behold, it's a game winner.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. I mean, we consistently have been saying, like, are you not going to be entertained with this NHL Stanley Cup Finals? And it has not disappointed whatsoever. And it's encouraging to see that this series is going to go so back and forth, and there hasn't been a game where either team has dominated and the other team hasn't found a way to adjust and come back from it. Every game is grinding to the very last horn, and they're gonna beat each other up throughout the entire process. Watching that game, they're not taking breaks, they're not taking it easy on each other. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to take it easy on each other in a final series, but the level of intensity that we've seen in the last 4 games is something that I don't necessarily think I've seen in any series type sport. No, at any level, basketball, hockey, I've never seen the type of intensity that they're having back and forth throughout this Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, it's been absolutely electric. It's been bonkers, off the wall. The chain is broken. Every euphemism you can think of. That's exactly what this Stanley Cup Finals has been. Before the series started, I said Canes in 6. I'm sticking with Canes in 6. I think probably after the Knights win Game 5 inevitably, the Canes will actually no, they can't. The Canes have to win the next 2 games in order for this to come true. So it's probably going to be Canes in 7, folks. So, but either way, I am immensely pleased with these finals. It has been an absolute Stanley Cup for the ages. Yeah. And I don't even know what this series would be like if the Avalanche actually made it, because I don't want to know. The Knights.
Why do you have to keep crapping on the Avalanche? You don't know what kind of fight they would have put up.
I don't, but the Knights have made this so interesting. It's been such an incredible series. I don't think it's good. I don't think this type of series is happening if it's any combination of other teams. I think Carolina, Vegas, very apparent. They are the destiny teams in the Western and Eastern conferences this year. They were meant to meet up in the finals. They were meant to do this, and I absolutely cannot wait for Game 5. I'm so excited.
You gotta love a series that's going to be the best of 3, and I would not have it any other way with the type of matchups that we've had in this Stanley Cup. Best of 3, Game 7 is all just about inevitable at this point. It's gonna be a slugfest to the very end, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it.
Yeah, let's move on to your darling, the NBA.
Darling is a strong word. So we had a game 3 2 days ago at the Madison Square Garden where there was a lot of controversy, a lot of issues, some complaints. Let me preface
fake news.
Yes. Let me preface our deep dive into what's going on in the series by saying it pisses me off whenever a team loses a game and the first thing that the coach or a player comes out and says about the game is, "Oh, boo-hoo, look at the free throws in the second half." And like that is going to irk me every single time. And the fact that Mike Brown said, I wish we had the audio so we could play it right away, but he pretty much walked into the podium and said, "Let me just say San Antonio played better than us Game 3, but I just want to acknowledge that the foul discrepancy or the foul discrepancy in the second half was like 20-8 or something or other." You lose so much credibility in my eyes, so much credibility whenever the first thing that comes to your mind is we got screwed out of a game and this is why we possibly lost. Like, if we sat down and broke down like foul calls and no calls and all this stuff on both sides of this matchup of the Spurs and Knicks, I feel like it'd be pretty even. They're not complaining whenever the fouls are going their way. They only look at the stats and the discrepancy in the calls whenever it doesn't go their way. And it just you kind of ruin a little bit of what's been going on in this series so far by complaining that something didn't go your way. You're playing a game. You won 2. The Knicks stole 2 in San Antonio. Like we didn't look at the stats and look at what team got the more calls or less calls in the first half compared to the second half. Nobody's looking at that stuff besides somebody that's looking for a reason on why they lost. That just will always irk me. But at the end of the day, like, you played the game you played. You were within arm's reach in Game 3. The Spurs found a way to to steal a home game from the Knicks. But let's be honest, at the same time, we could argue that the Spurs shouldn't have necessarily been in that position, or you shouldn't have been in a 2-0 position, because the Spurs have had a double-digit lead every single one of these matchups, and they've kudos to the Knicks from coming back, or discrepancy on the Spurs for allowing a double-digit lead to dissipate. But there's a lot that we could dive into as far as like how these games could go, and if we're gonna look at analytics and talk about the foul trouble or the discrepancy of those fouls, that just does a disservice for what we're actually finally seeing in this finals matchup, where currently, as we're recording this, the Spurs are up by now 9 points.
Only 9, yeah.
9 points, and they were up by
27.
Yeah, 27 points in that at halftime. So this is turning into the series that we thought it would be. I'm curious to see if the Spurs are going to have another collapse in the magnitude that they've regularly had, where they just can't figure out how to keep a double-digit lead, or they just can't figure out how to sustain a lead. If you're up by 27, pretty much everybody throws in the towel. The fact that the Knicks have made it an 8-7 point game after being down by so much, I don't know that. I have some worries about what the Spurs are actually doing in this series.
Yeah, it's I have issues. I've had issues with Wemby, even in Game 3, the game they won. He was too much in the backcourt, too much. At the end of the game, I don't know if he's just if it's in his French bloodline that he doesn't want to take charge. It's just in him to retreat, or if he's just tired. I don't know. But he was just too much in the background, and that's not what I want to see from a bona fide star of the league. It's not what I want to see. I get he's 22, he's young, he's still maybe he's still trying to find that dog in him. But if you're going to be the star of this league, I'm going to need you to want the ball. Yeah. This is the opposite of Vince Vaughn in the breakup. Why would I want to do the dishes? Wemby's like, why would I not want the ball? That's what I want to see from Wemby at the end of these games.
Yeah, I mean, it's as easy to explain to the fact that he's probably tired. He's been carrying the Spurs through the entire playoffs run into the finals. Like, he's most likely tired, and he's just doesn't have that aggressive, like the fuel in the tank to continue to be aggressive throughout the entire series. He needs somebody to take the helm a little bit, and they need to find a way to like get him rest while he's still on the court, because he's such a dominant figure when he's on the court. They need to find a way to get him rest while he's still making his presence known on the court, because whenever you can almost tell that he just doesn't have that like there's not enough left in the tank for him to continue to drive the paint, which is where he's the most successful. If you're seeing Wemby shoot 9 threes like he did game 2 or game 3 or game 2, if you're seeing him shoot 9 threes, it's probably because he doesn't have that energy to be able to drive the paint and be aggressive in that nature. That's probably what is coming down to, that the Spurs as a whole had a very tiresome 7-game series against the Thunder, and they didn't have the turnaround time frame that the Knicks have had. The Knicks had like a week and a half of rest, and the Spurs turned around from the 7-game series and had 3 days, and we're right back into an aggressive nature. He's just probably tired.
Yeah. If you had to compare the two playoff runs of these respective teams, and according to just real life scenarios, the Spurs have been Teddy Roosevelt going down the Amazon River, and the Knicks were at Jiffy Lube getting an oil change. This is it's completely different avenues, paths to the finals. And again, you can't fault a team for who's in front of you. You're going to play who's in front of you, and you should. But what we're seeing right now is a Spurs team, and I don't know if this is Mitch Johnson, his inexperience in the position, taking the Spurs this far, and not being able to properly draw up late game plays for the Spurs in order for them to close out. I'm a firm believer that, okay, maybe the Knicks took game. Let's say the Knicks took game one. The Spurs lost game two.
Yeah.
They lost it. And then they nearly lost it on Monday night. They nearly lost game three as well. This series should absolutely be at least 2-1 San Antonio. It's 2-1 New York. The Spurs are up by 27 at halftime. Now they're only up by 5. And I got Taylor Swift in the stands. I don't know why she has to be at everything. I don't get it. My name is Ophelia. Why is this my fate? So it is one of those things where Mitch Johnson needs to figure out how to stop these old guys. And look, you got one of the youngest rosters. They should not be this tired. And they are young. Castle, Harper, Wimby, they're all young. It should not be this way, yet it is. And they're all so tired at the end of these games. They are letting the Knicks creep back in, and now they let the Knicks creep back in their own backyard.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox dropped back for 3. He drills it finally. None of these teams can drill a 3 at the end of the game without having some drama involved in it. Good Lord! Now they're up by 7 with 4 left and ticking. This is going to go down as one of the all-time great series. Either way, either the Knicks prove physics wrong and they give Benjamin Button a sequel to say, hey, you can age backwards, it is possible, or the Spurs prove that they are just the young guns.
Yeah, they might not be ready for the spotlight. For them to have had such a big lead at halftime, and now it's become a single-digit lead for them in the fourth quarter. This is unacceptable, for lack of a better word. They should have been able to cruise to the second half and just get this series tied up. They're doing everything they can to make this a series that is competitive and tire themselves out. I don't understand what it is with the Spurs that they just don't know how to keep a lead. Like I said earlier,
It's the youth.
Yeah, I mean, it has to.
It's the youth.
The lack of experience, or the coaching experience. Like, how? Maybe we're just looking at it from the Spurs perspective, and we're not giving the Knicks enough credit. For the Knicks to be able to come back from multiple double-digit leads in every single one of these games, and 2 of the last 3 games, and possibly this game 4, maybe even be in a position to win this game. This has to say a lot about the Knicks as much as it says for the lack of whatever you want to say for the
experience. Yeah,
there's some resilience, there's some experience on the coaching side, there's some player experience that you can analyze. There's all this stuff, but you have to give it to the Knicks for them sticking with it and finding a way to come back from such a huge deficit. I thought this game was for sure over at halftime, and here we are talking about it being a 4-point game when it was a
1-point game.
Oh, well,
Jalen just sunk a 3.
Even more of an issue that I have with the way that this game is going. If the Spurs lose this game, obviously it's going to probably be the curtain call for this series. If the Knicks go up 3-1, that's very unlikely for the Spurs to win 3 in a row. And it just, I guess the one thing you could say is that experience, that the Knicks have overall, the longevity that they've shown throughout all their starting rosters' careers, this is showing itself really, really well in this series. And I think the Spurs are probably just not fully ready for the spotlight that they're in right now.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good spot to end it so we can catch the end of this game. It's 2 minutes left in an NBA world. That's about 6 weeks long. So, Manny, what were you drinking?
You're going to be disappointed in me, JB. I forgot to go buy a bottle. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the viewers.
You're drinking milk. Oh,
I'm drinking pancakes and bacon.
okay.
Drinking pancakes and bacon.
Nice. Okay.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking this High West Barai that I found at the Class 6, which was
Nice.
such a huge find. I never expected it to be there. And I was smoking, of course, one of my favorite cigars, a Mayflower Dusk. So, all right. Boys and girls, you can find us at Box Scores and Bourbon on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Click, subscribe, like, follow, comment, and additional comment at BSB Sports 24 on the X, the TikTok, and the Instagram. And until next time, stay thirsty.
Cheers, everyone.